Welcome to Get Connected with Nina Del Rio, a weekly conversation about fitness, health, and happenings in our community on 106.7 Light FM.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on Get Connected, where according to recent statistics, Americans keep the average job for just under 4 years, and 20% of American workers have resolved to find a new employer this year. If you're entering or re-entering the workforce thinking about changing careers, today's conversation is for you. Dr. Tracey Wilen returns with hiring trends and predictions for 2016. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Tracey Wilen is a global speaker on the impact of technology on work, careers, and women's leadership. Her latest book is Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends, and you can also visit her website at traceywilen.com. So we'll just jump in with the sad fact that we're all getting older, but it's good for business, I guess.
Yes, in fact, you can say it is a senior moment right now. In the United States, we have over 100 million people over the age of 50. That's around 1 in 3 Americans. Economists project that this is about a $7.1 trillion business globally, which means that there's lots of jobs as we try to take care of or service the needs of our senior economy.
So the need to accommodate seniors and provide services for older people starts with living spaces.
It does, because actually, if you look at the baby boomers, they are totally redefining retirement and even how we live. Some of them are pursuing adult communities that are very thematic, whether it's tennis or golf or wine tasting or biking or hiking. Others prefer to retire at home, which is opening up a whole variety of jobs in servicing, landscaping, home help, food services. And others will go into assisted living, which is where we have the need for aides and occupational therapists and, of course, medical. So no matter where they choose to live, there will be jobs that will be created around their choices.
And physical therapists, that's another area that's going to be in demand as seniors need more assistance.
Yes, and in fact, in 2016, there's a projected gap of around 33,000 physical therapists, and that joins other gaps, registered nurses, personal home health care, and aides. So this whole area of caregiving, health, and wellness has opened up new opportunities. In fact, I just met a gentleman in Los Angeles who was redefining his personal training practice to be personal training for Parkinson's disease, because he sees that the whole demand shifting as the seniors get older.
Yeah, and that would also, all those collateral services would benefit too, correct? Like spas, nutrition, mental health even perhaps?
Yes, and even something as simple as we get older, we don't hear as well. So, audiologists or, a vision care. You just think about all of the things that happen as you get older in age, what kind of needs we have, and then start to look for the jobs that are created by that.
Senior travel is also creating jobs.
American Association of Retired Persons, AARP, is projecting that travel will grow, caused by seniors traveling more, 36% over the next 10 years. So if you think about that, that will increase jobs in transportation, hospitality, hotels, restaurants, tourism services. The projection is 8 million more retired domestic travelers and 4 million more foreign travelers. And they also noted that actually when we're retired and not working, we spend more money on travel, so it's a lucrative area. And I even just spotted a couple of franchises that have opened up. One was called Cruise Planners, just focus on servicing this growing community of retirees who prefer to take cruises.
Do seniors in general prefer more tours, more assisted travel, more curated travel than a younger person might?
It varies quite a bit. In my research, I found that seniors are even doing some work travel. So they're actually traveling across the United States, maybe in an RV, and then stopping into a national park, and then working at a national park in exchange for being able to stay there and have some room and board covered for them. So, our retirees, and it's really the baby boomer generation, is addressing and looking at retirement in completely different ways than previous generations.
And that goes for pet ownership. Historically, you say pet ownership diminished as people age, but that's a trend that's changing.
It is. In fact, it's the millennials, which has always been the largest segment of pet owners, but now we have our retired baby boomers with the empty nest getting pets. And, that creates more services because we need people to take care of pets like vets and vet assistants. They need grooming, housing. They need, pet walkers and pet sitters. And so if you're interested in pets, this is another area, again, that the seniors are driving more jobs for.
So let's move on. Security. People are nervous about terrorism. They're nervous about cybersecurity. So the security business is a safe bet as far as job growth, et cetera.
Yes, I would say actually, sadly, security is a safe bet, and that's brand new because we didn't really have this years ago. Last year, I was very big on cybersecurity because it was growing 12 times faster than the overall job market, a $170 billion business by 2020. However, this year, if you look at the headlines, it's all about terrorism, and that's sad. But now new portfolios of jobs are on the scene. Everything from counterterrorism types of jobs, physical security and protection, people who can detect bombs, nuclear experts. Multiple jobs are being created just in counterterrorism. In fact, I was reading in New York at the end of November 2015, for the first time, the police force started a counterterrorism squad, 100 people expecting to grow to over 500 in 2016. And so you can see that would probably replicate throughout the U.S. and across the world at major cities.
So these are both blue-collar and white-collar jobs in security?
Blue-collar and white-collar, and technical and also non-technical. If you think about it, just if you look at the events and the headlines, all of the football, airlines and transportation centers are beefing up physical security in threefold just from the terrorism attacks and events in 2015. This opens up both public sector jobs and also private sector jobs. But at the same time, we do need people who can be anti-hackers, right? People who understand coding, people who understand botnets, but also people who understand nuclear and biological chemical warfare. And so there's a variety of jobs in that whole category called security.
So since we're talking about this, we had just talked about seniors and travel. I wanted to bring up an anecdote. My mother-in-law, we were just talking about it. She's a retired baby boomer, a frequent traveler, kind of falls in that senior travel group. But she doesn't want to travel so much anymore because she's worried about security risks, especially in Europe. Do you not see security affecting travel in a negative way?
Oh, I do. I think a lot of people are very concerned about travel. Your mother is certainly not alone because of, the reality of going to airports or transportation systems. You don't know, anywhere where there's a crowd of people, a work environment. And so that's where I see the jobs opening up. And yes, I do see that more people would prefer a different direction for their personal safety. And it might be that she's one of our retirees who will expand services at home. And that, again, could be a different kind of job creation.
We're speaking with Dr. Tracey Wilen. She's a global speaker on the impact of technology on work, careers, and women's leadership. Her latest book is Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends. She's currently on a speaking tour of the topic of current career trends. You can find out more at TraceyWilen.com. You're listening to Get Connected on 106.7 Light FM. I'm Nina Del Rio. And we've had this conversation in the past about the new year and the new trends. We've talked about technology in the past. But this year, you think the focus is specifically on trendy technology. And that includes?
That includes artificial intelligence. There's a lot of venture capital investment going in. So just think about your iPhone and Siri. Siri will get smarter and smarter, and your talking toys will answer back with intelligent advice. Immersive technology, and that is the whole area of augmented virtual reality. Or think about it, esports. Esports is a big movement right now in the U.S. where we actually can either watch people playing immersive games like World of Warcraft or whatever is Call of Duty, I think is the popular one, or playing other teams in immersive games. In fact, I was just in Las Vegas, and they expect this to be a new transition of gambling where teams will play each other in stadiums, and we will go and watch them, very much like a cooking show.
Wow.
So, it's quite interesting. And so gaming, if you ever thought to your kid, what are they doing? Well, a lot of them are making a lot of money on places on like Twitch or YouTube charging subscribers to actually learn how to play immersive games, and some of them are making more than $140,000 a month. Pretty interesting area.
Pretty impressive. Let's talk about drones, too, and I'll give the statistics. You provided a lot of data for this interview, and one of them is fascinating about drones, that the market is projected to grow to $82.1 billion, creating more than 100,000 jobs over the next 10 years. Whenever I talk about drones with people, we say, what are the practical uses for them? What kind of collateral jobs can they create?
That's right, because everyone thinks of the drone as a toy, but actually the cost of drone manufacturing has gone down, and the uses have increased. So it could be for weather, surveillance, disaster recovery, military uses, and of course, what everyone reads about in the press is Amazon actually wants to have commercial drone delivery for their Prime members. That is, getting your package delivered by a drone in 10 minutes or under. Now, that requires FAA clearance, but it is now becoming a mainstream business that people are looking at as for potential job growth. And the jobs would be operators, pilots, trainers, people who can repair drones, people who can teach other people how to use drones, sales, marketing. So there's a whole new category of jobs that could open up all around the drone industry.
Next, blue-collar workers. They're still in high demand, and the trades remain a solid source of opportunity.
You know, the projection is that by 2017, we will need more than 2.5 million middle-skilled jobs and people to fill these jobs. And this is everything from your plumbers, carpenters, electricians, air conditioning, repair. A lot of that doesn't go away, but if I look at where the big bucks are, I would guide people to infrastructure. Every city and state has railways, waterways, power plants, maybe dams, right? Roadways. All of this infrastructure needs people to repair them, work on them, maintain them. And these are the jobs that are like $50,000 and up and offer a lot of benefits as well. But last year I talked also about drivers because that was a shortage last year, and that shortage will continue. And you know how many of us like to have quick delivery. Well, Amazon is creating their own trucking fleet, and I've already seen jobs posted for good dollars and fantastic benefits. And in addition to the ones that Walmart offers or Schneider Trucking. So I would look at all of these categories as continued opportunities.
These kind of blue-collar jobs, too, they're also a space for entrepreneurs to build real businesses without college degrees, perhaps.
A colleague of mine who is a skilled worker said, Tracey, he was so inspired by a show called Blue Collar Millionaire. And he said it was about taking your blue-collar service and, like Shark Tank or white-collar entrepreneurs, is really building it into a major business, and you too can become a millionaire. And it's everything from sanitation to landscaping to roofing. Whatever your business is, his point was that you don't need a college degree to become a millionaire. You need to be business savvy and understand your finances and how to grow your business.
What professions, Tracey, do you think will be on the decline in 2016?
That's a good question because I'm asked that quite a bit, and here's how I answer it. If your job can be replaced by hardware or software, then you are at risk. And I would encourage, just think about the bank teller and the ATM. Think about the gas station attendant and automated gas filling machines, right? So you need to look at your job as the accountant with software. So look at your job and understand, how am I going to always keep ahead of that automation curve? So how is it that I can make sure that I'm skilled enough and experienced enough to continue? And that's where I encourage people to keep on top of the technology in your industry. If you're working, really utilize the work resources offered to you, whether it's training, certifications, or your vendors or customers who can help keep you vibrant and employed for life in your field.
So the hiring trends, back to that, being your own boss, again on your list this year, being a micropreneur.
I think our millennials have really embraced this concept that this is the employment of the future, not something that you do if you're not working in a corporation. In fact, many millennials will say, I just don't want to be on that corporate treadmill. And I would rather have work-life balance, but I want to be able to manage my own business. And so many are pursuing, thanks to us having digital capacity really today, on-demand jobs, something as simple as an Uber and Lyft driver to renting out rooms in Airbnb to starting a craft business on Etsy or a more formalized vendor on eBay or a corporate type of delivery for business cards and stationery on Zazzle. You name it. People now have the ability to start jobs and be their own boss, and a micropreneur is really just one person working and really have a sustainable career.
The thing about those jobs, though, of course, and you know this argument, there's no safety net, no workers' comp, no expenses, no vacation, no health care, no sick days, and there's legal challenges for companies like Uber. Do companies that are essentially middlemen risk their long-term growth if they don't help provide stability for entrepreneurs who partner with them?
You know, that's also a really good question, because in the beginning of your show, in your segment, you talked about how people are churning jobs so fast because it is a very complex and ambiguous world. So I would say nothing is secure. In fact, many people feel that there's more security when you own your own shop, because you know when you're making money, you know when you're not, and you're going to be the person to fire yourself. In terms of having risk, you know, some of these platforms, they're technology matchmakers. It's really up to you as an individual to decide, is that the venue for yourself? Are you going to participate in it? Can you make money at it, and can you sustain it? So I view it as a very favorable, because a lot of people really, truly want to be their own bosses and not at the mercy of an organization who may fire them in a week or two.
Dr. Tracey Wilen has been a scholar at Stanford University and has held leadership positions at Apple, HP, and Cisco. Her current book is Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends, and you can find out more at TraceyWilen.com. Dr. Wilen, thanks for joining us again on Get Connected.
This has been Get Connected with Nina Del Rio on 106.7 Light FM. The views and opinions of our guests do not necessarily reflect the views of the station. If you missed any part of our show or want to share it, visit our website for downloads and podcasts at 1067lightfm.com. Thanks for listening.